Hello everyone and welcome to this video. I have a video on my channel where I showed how to build 10 simple trees, and a lot of people seemed to like that video and told me that it was very helpful for them. So today I want to show the process of building a simple tree. I won't necessarily be talking too much, but I'll explain my thoughts when I build it. And for this video I will be doing an oak tree, I think. Not think, I know. And maybe in the future we can do some other trees as well, like spruce and birch and whatever trees might exist in the world. But yeah, we are gonna start with the oak tree, and these are the materials that I usually use for the trunk and branches. So if you want to follow along, you're more than welcome to do so. Otherwise, just I hope you enjoy it, and we're gonna start now. Alright, so when you're looking at real life oak trees, their branches are quite crazy. They go all over the place, and the leaves sometimes, quite often actually, get quite close to the ground. So we're gonna have like branches that goes this way, like that. But I'm gonna start by just building the trunk and then build branches out, and then after that I'm gonna smoothen out the branches and like move them around a bit so it's not just in the same X and C level. All right, so as I said, it's gonna be a simple oak tree, so it's not gonna be that big. And just by looking at this, it's a mess, right? So we're gonna go in here and take out these extra blocks because they're too thick, and branches shouldn't be that thick, especially not in the end. And we're also gonna be replacing these logs with some stairs and slabs to smoothen out the branch a bit. All right, so now it's not as bad looking, I guess. And now we're gonna go in here and replace some of these ends, at least, with what are they called? Slabs. That was dumb, I think. Okay, it's fine. So we're just gonna go around and do that where it's too much of the same block, I guess. Alright, so now that that's done, we're gonna move the branches around a bit, and that can be a bit annoying, but it's quite simple actually. You just go like this and then destroy whatever's left, and then we have a branch that has a bit of an angle on it, which creates more room for a branch to go from here and out here, which we're gonna do after this. Alright, so now that these branches have a bit of an angle on them, we can start making smaller branches coming out from these branches, which is quite simple. You can use trapdoors and slabs as well, also stairs if you want to. But you can do it like this, and you have like a bit of a curve on it. You can, let me go on another branch and show you. You can even go like this, where you have it from down here, up here, sorry. And then it can have that kind of a archy kind of look. Both work fine. So whatever you prefer, really. Alright, so now that the smaller branches are in most places, we might add some later after we've placed the leaves, if we have too big of gaps in between. We can start by placing some spruce fences, which are branches going upwards really. So you can just place them like this, which is, you can also place them on these branches. But they're just for like, I don't know what to call it in Minecraft, but on real trees you have some branches going upwards and sideways and down and all that kind of stuff. And it's a bit difficult to make branches in Minecraft go up. You can do this, but it's from other angles it looks a bit weird, I think. But yeah, you can use spruce fences, and then you can put on fence gates if you want to. It's basically just whatever you prefer. I don't care. I sometimes mix it up like this. But yeah, that's up to you. Alright, so I think that's enough, because it can be a bit overwhelming with all these things poking up. Now for the top up here, which is honestly the part that I am still struggling with so much. I'm very bad at building the top of the trees. But sometimes I use spruce fence gates and just go crazy like this. Other times I kind of wait to the end, but this time I'm gonna just put in very small branches up here, which can hopefully like emulate a flat kind of look, because oak trees, they do have like almost perfect shape sometimes. So I'm just gonna put in small branches everywhere up here with some fence gates as well, because not fence gates, spruce fences, just to create a bit of a top on them. But yeah, just make sure you kind of get everywhere, so you don't have only have a top up here and then nothing over here, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I actually think it's quite decent so far. Oh, that's too low, like that. Well, that's dumb. So it's gonna be there. Okay, I think this is I think this is fine actually. Now for the bottom, you can use some what are they called? Stairs. I am losing the words. And then put in some trapdoors, because oak trees are also quite thick in the bottom. Or you can just go like this and put a stair on it and a slab. Yeah, whatever you really prefer to do. So I'm gonna do like this, I think. And then to create some roofs coming out, you can use these and go like in the corners, like so, and that's pretty cool. Now to texture this trunk a bit, I'm gonna use some stripped spruce wood, which is like the same, pretty much the same color as these stairs and trapdoors. So we can use this for a bit. I kind of use it in the bottom mostly, but you can use it wherever you want. And I don't really go crazy with it, I just place it like this in the bottom. But yeah, we didn't really use these ones for this tree. It didn't need it, I think, but maybe it's gonna be used later on, I don't know. Now for the leaves, we're gonna use moss blocks. We're gonna use azalea leaves because they are the best, and some birch leaves, and then some grass, short grass, to create a bit of fluffiness on the trees. And we're gonna start from the bottom here, and we're just gonna place leaves on the very ends of the branches, like so. And then we'll come in later and place like everywhere else where it's needed. So we're just gonna do small circles like this all around the tree. To get a bit of water here, that's why there's a bit of a weird cut. And I also apologize if there's any background noise, music, whatever. My upstairs, or the people who live upstairs, are going pretty crazy with the music right now. It's 11 AM on a Thursday. I don't know what kind of party they're holding, but yeah, that's their choice. Alright, so now that all the ends of the branches have leaves on them, we can see there's quite a few gaps and it's a bit flat up here, and especially up here it's yeah, it's balding, this tree. So we're gonna have to make some more branches up here, which is very important. So we're gonna use some spruce fences, which I find the best to use for this scenario, which happens a lot for me, and that sucks. But yeah, we're just gonna put in some leaves on these fences then. Like that. Okay. So now for all these open spaces, we can start to put in some leaves just however we feel is the best. I usually just put in some diagonal leaves, if that makes sense. I hope it does. So here, for example, as well, we can put in a leaf there and in here as well. This is also kind of bare, so in there and just one here, I guess, like so. Now this side is very open. It almost needs a branch, I think. We can I get a trapdoor in here? Thank you. We can have a branch coming from in here, going down, and then we'll place some leaves on this one, and then connect it to the other leaves and branches. Alright, and this is the part that was very flat, but we can just place some leaves underneath the branches and that fixes it basically. Same with this part up here. Just put in some leaves underneath and it should be fine. Alright, so that's basically the leaves done. We can put in some more down here real quick, like so. And now we kind of have that circular shape, which is pretty cool. Now the birch leaves is optional. I like to use it for parts in here especially. This could use a leaf. Because it's kind of a darker block, and it looks a bit more, yeah, like it doesn't get the light on it. It's so difficult to explain, but yeah, I usually just put the birch leaves on. I suck at words. I replace the azalea leaves with birch leaves on the blocks that doesn't get lighting on them. Yes. Alright, so that's fine. You don't really need to do it on every single block because that's a bit overkill, unless you already planned out the tree. So yeah, now that that's done, we're gonna place in some moss blocks and then some short grass on top of them to create that fluffiness, as I explained earlier. And that's also why I use azalea blocks, because they go so well together, and I prefer that. If you compare it to, let's say, a oak leaf, they are very different, I think. Alright, so that's enough moss blocks. You can also, if you want to go real crazy, you can use ferns, and you can even use long grass. And if you want to make it look kind of like an apple tree, you can put in some of these poppies. I have a mod pack on, so it's a bit bigger flower, so I'm not gonna use it. I'm just gonna go around now and place all the short grass on it. And all the short grass is now in. Now, one thing I really love to do with my trees is to make a branch that has nothing on it, especially down here. So I want to try and see if I can do that. Maybe if I go out here. Like so. That's really cool, I think. I like that. Maybe we'll even do it like this. Yeah, that's better. But let's take a step back and look at what we've made. I think that's a pretty cool tree. Maybe this here is too big, so we're gonna change that and to just have it like this, I guess. Yeah, I prefer that. It's still just like a flat 90-degree angle. I don't like that. Maybe we'll just do it like so. Yeah, that's way better. Okay. So I think that's a pretty cool tree. I hope you learned something. If not, I just hope you enjoyed the video. And if you have any feedback on how I can improve my trees, I would greatly appreciate it, because I want to learn how to build perfect trees, even though no trees are perfect. But yeah, this was just a small tree, but you can use this technique on larger trees as well. You can also just use world edit, which is way easier. But I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.